Welcome in, Pine Belt. We're switching things up this morning for a very special weekend preview. Joining me now is Charlotte Wiltshire, and we here have Shirley Wiltshire. Yes. You guys, can I say you're experts in blueberries?
Yes, you can.
Because you guys are going to tell us all about the Blueberry Jubilee that's happening in downtown Poplarville. And this is a family affair, Pine Belt, yes, because this is your granddaughter.
Yes, it is.
And you are Teen Miss Blueberry, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so tell me, what did it take to get this crown?
Well, at the beginning of the month of May, we had the Blueberry Pageant, which was an amazing endeavor, and it was an amazing experience. And in the interview process, we had 2 judges in the room with us, and it was very challenging, but also very enjoyable to be able to talk and be able to earn the crown.
Yeah.
And then in the pageant portion, we all did amazing, and it was a very hard challenge to be alongside of all of those amazing young ladies that I was with.
And so did they ask you questions about blueberries or no?
Yes, they did. They asked if I like blueberries.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, you can't be Miss Teen Blueberry if you don't like it. So I'm guessing you know all about how to make various things from blueberries as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's the most unique thing that the public will probably be surprised about that you can use blueberries to make? Maybe you can ask your grandma for help on that one.
Well, I found a blueberry barbecue sauce recipe one time.
That I've never heard of blueberry barbecue, so that is unique.
It is unique.
But what do you guys have here? Tell me about this, and then we'll get into all things Jubilee.
Today I was trying something a little spin on something different. This is a blueberry upside down cake.
It looks delicious.
And of course it has fresh blueberries on top and just a one layer cake recipe, and we have our blueberry upside down cake along with some fresh blueberries from our USDA Small Fruit Research Station in Poplarville.
And I will be taking those at the end of
this
interview.
You will.
So tell the public they can come and experience all this and more in downtown Poplarville Saturday. What time does everything start?
The race kicks off at 7 o'clock on Saturday morning, and 5K race, and then as Charlotte has mentioned, the pancake breakfast starts at 7 o'clock in the drugstore, then the 5K race, and then the arts and craft vendors, food vendors. We have blueberry products that is on the courthouse lawn. Oh yeah. And it is it's a fun day. 5 blocks in downtown Main Street is blocked off from Bank Plus to Hancock Bank, and all kinds of arts and crafts. We have entertainment on the town green, so we are excited. And I just remember something. You can take a USDA tour at our chamber and go over to the Small Fruit Research Station and find out about all the research projects they have going on at the State Experiment Station and the Federal Experiment Station.
Oh, that's amazing. One thing that I read about you guys is really impressive is how many people come to this Jubilee. It's thousands and thousands all coming into downtown Poplarville.
Yes. We usually run somewhere 10,000 plus, depends on the weather, and we're hoping to get a good weather report here in a few minutes on our Blueberry Jubilee. But I think this year it's going to be one of the hottest. So we've got plenty vendors that have plenty food, drinks, cool drinks, lemonade. One of our blueberry vendors is right here in Forest County, is Aunt Polly, and we have people that will come long ways just to get her lemonade.
That's amazing. Anything else you guys want to add before we end things?
Friday night we have storytelling that starts at 6 o'clock, and at 5:30 we sort of have a golf cart parade that comes through downtown Poplarville and ends at the town green. And then we start with storytelling on Friday night at 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock we have a cross ties group, local group, and then we have 2 other bands after that. So you bring your lawn chair and just enjoy. We'll have a food vendor, and a cone of ice will be there with their snow cone stand. So
it's just not a Saturday event. It's nearly the whole weekend to enjoy the Blueberry Jubilee.
Because you can start, it's cooler on Friday night, but the vendors are not there yet. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And congratulations on winning the crown. I love that you have the blue jewels in there. We appreciate your time. And now we're about to find out if you guys are going to get the weather that you want. Ryan, what can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you it's looking pretty good on that front as far as the weather goes for at least what we're seeing going into tomorrow and Saturday, and you know what? It's going into the whole weekend as well. So you mentioned a few of those events going on. I've picked 4 of them here. The Blueberry Golf Cart Parade getting started tomorrow at 5:30. It'll be a little bit on the hot side there, 93 degrees, feels like 98. For the 5K race and 1 mile fun run, it's going to be much cooler, so maybe that's your thing there at 67 degrees thanks to the lower humidity coming in on today's front. And then the Chase Tyler concert getting going at 11:30 or Saturday, excuse me, with lots of sunshine, still on the cool side at 84 degrees, but you see as we head towards the end of the event at about 4 o'clock, we're looking at 94 degrees. Thankfully, the humidity will remain low, so it'll only feel like about 96, but I highly recommend, if you're going to enjoy, and it looks like something fun to do, you bring some sunscreen with you and stay hydrated, because the UV index is going to be at about 11, which means unprotected, you could get a pretty decent burn in as little as 10 to 15 minutes.
All right, Pine Bell, put your paws to the pavement for a WAG-worthy cause Saturday. The Dogs Day Run and Walk is raising money for the Hub City Service Dogs. This family-friendly event has 3 races, a 5-mile, 5K, 2-mile, and all the scenic and shady Hattiesburg avenues. Everything kicks off at 7:30 Saturday morning, but plan to get there early. The routes start and end at Camper Park with the finish line party featuring vendors, refreshments, pies, and fun. Dogs are welcome for the 5K and 2-mile races, though it might be too hot, Ryan, but they should be in good health and on a fixed leash. Costumes are encouraged. Again, watch it with the heat. And there will be a run by dog pageant, so make sure your pooch is catwalk ready. Dogs won't be allowed to run the 5-mile race, and more than 400 athletes are already signed up, and there's still time to register. You can find the link on runsignup.com. And again, this event raises money for Hub City Service Dogs, a nonprofit dedicated to training service dogs for adults and children with medical disabilities. That looks like a lot of fun, but again, you're saying like with the UV and the humidity, because I thought we were going to get a break this weekend, but that's not really going to happen.
Yeah, well, there's a front moving through. I wouldn't even call it a cold front, but it's not a warm front either. It's tepid front, if that's a thing.
Yeah, we can coin that
here.
Yeah,
either way, tepid front. So temperatures actually go up over the weekend because it's not cooling any, and we're getting a lot more sun, but the humidity will play nicely. So it doesn't honestly get much better as we head deeper into summer, so it'll still be humid, but not like ridiculously humid like it was not last Monday, but the one before that where it was 96 and like 80 degree dew points. Like
that was rough.
It won't be like that, but it'll be 95 degrees.
Yeah, just keep an eye on your pups out there this weekend.
Yeah, right, everybody stay hydrated.
Rev your engines and ready your rubber duckies for Jeepin' in Jones County. Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., Jeep enthusiasts are invited to the Sawmill Square Mall for a special event benefiting Cherished Hearts Children's Advocacy Center. Here's some video from the Jeep in the Coast so you can see what you can expect. Enter your Jeep for $25 and you can win one of the special categories like Best Guy Jeep, Best Girl Jeep, Best City Jeep, Best Country Jeep. No Jeep? No problem. There will also be a raffle, silent auction, and entertainment.
I did not realize the ducks were a Jeep thing.
I didn't either.
I see them a lot.
I thought the ducks were their own little race.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, though.
Special event.
I know they just had like Jeep in the coast down on the coastline.
Did you go? Because I know that's close to you.
I got caught in the traffic.
So you saw the Jeeps,
so
but you weren't entertained.
I was not entertained at the time, but I did see quite a few of the Jeeps. They're very cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool. It was just we were going to a concert, and I didn't think about it until the last second and got caught.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes. When there's that many people and they want to go check out those Jeeps, and I recommend you do, it's going to be a little traffic, so pack your patience, as they like to say in the biz. But let's move on to mud bugs, crawfish, or crawdads, whatever you want to call them. Well, this weekend you can get your claws for a cause. The puns today. The second annual
Sarah
Roadhouse
loves it.
Car Show. Is that your fault or Sarah's?
That was Sarah.
All right, I'm going to talk to her later. Roadhouse Car Show is raising money for Petal Children's Task Force and serving up that spicy Southern staple. The event runs from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. on Saturday. At the Roadhouse Restaurant off Highway 42. You can enter your car or truck for $25, and trophies will be given to the winner of several categories like Workers' Choice, Street Rod Classic, and Best Rat Rod.
Rat Rod. Festival South continues this weekend with colorful conversations with Adam Trest. Trest is Festival South 2024's featured artist, and if you live in Laurel, he's had a hand in making the city beautiful. You'll recognize his prints from across the Pine Belt, but most notably, he illustrated the Lantern House by Aaron Napier. Tomorrow evening at 5, enjoy a casual conversation with Trest and get answers to all of your art-related questions. This event will be held at the Author Shop in downtown Hattiesburg. Sounds like fun.
I like the caveat there, like art-related questions.
Yeah, you cannot ask Mr. Adams anything.
Like no math problems, none of that. Because when I do like school visits, I'll be like, "Are there any questions?" And people are like,
I can imagine
what size shoe do you wear?" And I'm like,
have you gotten that from kids?
Yeah, kids ask amazing questions. Like I get space questions, where whirlpools come from, which isn't me at all. Like I'm just as curious.
Is that the wildest question you got from a kid when you go on those school visits, though?
One of them asked something about the meteorite hitting that got the dinosaurs.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I'm a meteorologist, but not that kind, and we weren't around for that. So we're largely just going off like fossils for that.
But you're pretty smart, so I'm sure you answered it the best.
I did my best. I always try to. They're special kids out there with special questions. Very, very fun. Every time it is. But again, art-related questions only for that event. Anyway, he's blue, he's cool, and he loves his white shoes. Pete the Cat returns to the Hattiesburg Library for a meet and greet.
Aww.
Very nice. Well, tomorrow afternoon at 2, Southern Arena Theater presents a theatrical reading of Pete the Cat book, followed by a craft and an opportunity to meet the fabulous feline. So bring the kids and get a hug, handshake, or high five. He's probably giving them all out. My son loves Pete the Cat books. So
I know. I hate I'm going to miss that.
we got a few of them. Yeah, he's got a dance thing, or we try to make it too. Well, either way, also the 6th Street Museum District is hosting story time with a soldier tomorrow morning at 10 at the African American Military History Museum. This free event is an opportunity for kids to interact with a uniformed military veteran. Plus, there will be an arts and crafts activity as well. Sounds like time well spent.
This is for the adults. The summer reading program is back at the Library of Hattiesburg, Petal, and Forest County. Let's give you the details on that. You can pick up your challenge log at the Hattiesburg or Petal Library branch and listen to these categories. Let's give you the categories: a book with a number in the title, a book set in medieval times, and a book that features dragons. That sounds cool.
Ooh, I like that.
And 8 others. Each book you complete gets you 1 entry into a weekly prize drawing, and a grand prize will be drawn at the end. The program runs until July 20th, and you can finish them in any order. Remember, each book can only count for 1 prize entry. All right. Let's take it on over to Ryan. Ryan, we've had a stormy week. We had a storm, not a storm, but pretty good rain this morning, and now you're going to tell us that things are going to clear up and heat up as well.
Giving away the forecast there. The lights don't seem as bright over here. It's not as...
And it does not.
Yeah, so we did see some rain out there. In fact, this area right here, Forest General Hospital in Hattiesburg, was under a flash flood warning this morning, as we saw areas very nearby, mostly Lamar County, that ended up with like 2 and almost 1/4 inches of rain in 1 hour. And in fact, a little bit over about 1 1/4 inches came in 10 minutes. So there was a lot of moisture out there. Now, thankfully, no very strong storms, but flooding is sometimes just as dangerous and even more deadly than the wind sometimes. So it wasn't a lot safer, but a lot less windy and damagey out there. And now things are looking pretty good. You see things clearing up nicely, but I do believe we still have at least a few showers out there that we'll see later on today just after lunchtime, but not looking like anything to worry about. No official risk of severe weather, though there may be some rumbles of thunder. So lots of blue sky here in Columbia. Again, an inch and just over a tenth there, and I guarantee you all of that fell this morning between the hours of about 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. as very heavy showers at times pass through. Waynesboro here only reporting just over a quarter of an inch, close to a third there, and at times this has looked even more clear than this, and at other times this morning during sunrise, an absolute downpour. So that's just how it is with these very spotty showers. A front is in the area. It's bringing drier air, but especially during the heat of the day, once we warm up into our upper 80s today, we still have that chance of seeing that stray shower to thunder shower popping up again. No storms or severe weather expected. And then things start to wind down from there. And as we head into the night, those skies clear up. And once they clear up, they will stay clear for the entire weekend. You got kind of a taste of it earlier, talking about the Blueberry Jubilee that gets started tomorrow, but it's going to be a hot one. Thankfully, not ridiculously humid. Dew points will fall down into about the 50s. Our mornings will cool off down into the mid to low 60s for a little bit up there, especially over in Poplarville. Then we'll start working our way up. But the daytime, it's not cooling off at all. Mid 90s, and in fact, I had a 96 on here yesterday, and I just couldn't figure out a reason not to put it back, especially with the clouds starting to build back in. But either one of those days, Saturday to Sunday, could tie what I believe was the highest temperature so far for Hattiesburg, which was Monday, not last Monday, the one before that, where we hit 96, but then dew points were like in the upper 70s and low 80s, and it just felt miserable. This will feel that much better. So enjoy it. Just remember the sunscreen and stay hydrated. So you can see the storms that we had this morning, and there was at least a few rumbles of thunder mixed in there, but it was all the rainfall that fell in that area. Now all that's pushing off towards the east. Here comes that afternoon. The front is still pushing through. It's pretty weak, but it's adding just enough lift in the heat of the day that we could get at least a few more going. These will not be the kind that just completely blow trees over and will leave the entire area without power, but they will keep cloud cover and potentially a few more showers in place into the just around sunset hours, and that's when everything falls apart and we end up seeing that drier air working in. Then we see nothing but clear skies but very hot conditions, and I believe this is underreporting the temperature by a little bit. So again, I'm expecting mid 90s, thankfully, with the lower humidity. Heat indices not expected to go over or 100 until possibly Sunday, because that humidity comes surging back around that time and it'll still be mid 90s. So watch for that. But that's when we start seeing the cloud cover building back in, and that leads us to our next potentially rainy day. And as you see here from the radar aggregate, it's not looking very consistent. Definitely going to be some clouds and showers in the area as we enter in that summertime pattern, which is very frustrating for you guys as much as it is for meteorologists anywhere near a coastline, because it's going to rain somewhere, and we generally can't tell you where until right before it happens as we're heading into the afternoon. So we're pretty much done with this 20% outside of a couple of hours later this afternoon. Once that's done, it's just hot and sunny with our lowest humidity, driest day there on Saturday. Then we see those clouds just start to work their way back in by Sunday there. And then as we head into Monday, we kind of get right back into the pattern where we were this week, though I wouldn't expect those 30%, 20, 30 there to be severe. It's too far out to know that, just looking at what we're seeing there, but as they get closer, we'll let you know. These summer type showers can sometimes overachieve. That's pretty much what we saw for the last couple of days. Especially yesterday's was not supposed to be that way, but it warmed up just like 2 degrees more than expected, and that can make the difference.
That's all it took.
That's all it took.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Adios.